Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Guys, today we're going to dive into the altcoins. What I want to do is encourage you to take a look at this altcoin with an open mind, okay? I know what you want to hear. Everybody wants to hear that their coin is going to 50x, 100x. I get it. I want to hear that too, okay? But listen to me. I've been through 3 bull markets and I'm now in my 3rd bear market, okay? And I'm not saying I'm always correct, okay? But I know how these things go, okay? We're going to look at the coin from a technical standpoint. How many of you a few weeks ago, as your coin was going up 60, 70, 100%, was listening to the influencers telling you this time is different, super cycle, Bitcoin dominance is headed down, alt season is here, blah, 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 blah. And today your coin is probably down 50%. Okay, don't listen to the noise. Okay, we're going to look from a technical standpoint. Okay, I don't know about your fundamentals of your coin. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. We can't predict what may happen later, what partnerships may come in, what scandals may come up. We can't predict those types of things, but what we can predict and know for a fact are things like tokenomics, circulating supply, technical analysis. Those things don't change. So we can look at it from a technical standpoint and take a realistic approach to what this coin might do. If anything comes later, like some sort of hopium or some sort of deal or some sort of thing like that in the economy with your coin, where it gets worldwide mass adoption, great, that's a bonus. But be prepared for less, okay? Or be prepared for a more realistic target. The biggest mistake I made in my first cycle was listening to everyone else who said that my coin was going to 50, 60x. And as I sat here and watched it 10 and 15x, which was great, I didn't take profit because I was waiting on that 50x because I believed the narrative. And I wound up writing that coin all the way back down and round tripping it, right? I learned from that mistake. If you're not at least open-minded to hearing what a conservative approach would be, then you're only showing your inexperience in this market. So don't be inexperienced. If you are inexperienced, at least try to learn, okay? If I think your coin's going to 100x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 5x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 0, I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know I could get way more clicks by just coming in and shouting 100x, but that's not going to serve you anything good in the future. So let's take a realistic approach to these coins, and we'll see if we can figure out where a good bull market top is going to be. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we go. All right, y'all, taking a look at SEI. I am on the weekly Coinbase chart. Guys, listen to me. I'm not trying to be offensive when we look at this chart. If you're married to SEI, I wish you the best, but I'm telling you, do not marry some narrative because this coin looks awful, 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 okay? It's not too late to get off and get on something that could perform better. Or what do I know? Maybe this thing comes through for you. The narrative works out, and this becomes bigger than Bitcoin. I have no idea. But looking at the tokenomics and the technicals, this coin looks awful, okay? Let's dive in. I'll show you why, and you can make your own decision. So SEI on the weekly, you set a price all-time high in March of 24 of $1.14 with a $3 billion market cap. Now, here's what I want you to pay attention to. At that time, you had a circulating supply of 2.6 billion coins on the market, okay? Let's fast forward just a few months to December of 24. You set a new high, or not a new high, but you set another high here of 73 cents, okay? That is significantly less than your all-time high. That is 36% less than your all-time high price. However, your market cap was the exact same at $3 billion. So even though you had the same amount of money in this asset, your price was 36% less. It's because you had added a significant amount of coins to your circulating supply from 2.6 billion to 4.2 billion. Now, looking at price today, you have a price of 5 cents, a market cap of 377 million, and a circulating supply of almost 7 billion. Guys, you have tripled your circulating supply from your all-time high. But wait, there's more. Come next cycle, which we estimate to be the top around 2029, you're going to have 10 billion coins in the market. This is massive token dilution or market dilution through token unlocks. In fact, you're going to have 4 times more coins on the market than you did at your all-time high, which means for you to reach an all-time high of $1.14 again, you're going to have a $12 billion market cap. And let me tell you something, guys, that is not going to happen. If you just reach your same market cap of last cycle of $3 billion, your price is going to be $30. And let me tell you another something, guys. I don't even think that's going to happen. SEI is just a layer 1. There's nothing special about it. It literally competes with Ethereum, Solana, SUI, Avalanche, BNB. It competes with the big boys. And let me tell you another thing. Even if it were a dominant competitor in that sector, L1s are not the hot narrative right now. AI is. Just go look at L1s from last cycle. Most of them massively underperformed. Just ask Algorand. Algorand saw 2 cycles in a row in a price high of $3, and then the last cycle went to 60 cents. And it wasn't hit with the massive token dilution like this coin is. So not only are you fighting an uphill battle with your narrative and your strong competitors like Solana and Ethereum and SUI, you're fighting the uphill battle of token unlocks, which is drowning your price as is, and it gets worse by next cycle. Let's look at the circulating supply here. You can see the bottom orange line is where your circulating supply was at the time of your all-time high. And just look at this massive increase, and it's only going to get worse by next cycle. So this is terrible. You never want to see this. You want to see a much more flat or just slightly increase, something like that. You never want to see this. That looks terrible. So let's go look at your market cap and see if we can determine a target, okay? Because all hope is not lost here. So let's look at market cap. So knowing that this is not a strong coin and you are being drowned by token unlocks, let's fib this. You can't fib price. Price will not work with a fib. You cannot do it. Don't even try. You could only possibly rely on a fib if your circulating supply was the same or a negligible amount difference. But 4 times, you can't Fibonacci retrace that. It doesn't work. But market cap is linear, so you can throw a fib on there and get an estimate. So if we take it from the high to the current low, you can see your retrace levels. And I think, guys, I'm being honest, with the narrative, unless something really comes through with the narrative of this coin, which you cannot invest upon a potential narrative coming through, you just have to look at the black and white facts, and that is the technicals. I think best case scenario, best case is you get a 618 retrace, which is $2 billion. And I think that's being very generous, guys, if I'm being honest. Algorand, which seems to have a much stronger narrative than this coin, which is also an L1, Algorand retraced to the 0.236 last cycle. Okay, I know not all coins did that poorly, but Algorand did, and we were expecting a lot more. I know because I held Algorand, but Algorand literally came here and then rolled over. So I think best case scenario, you come to the 618 at a $2 billion market cap, which is going to give my price prediction here of 20 cents. I don't think you get a penny higher than 20 cents. I would be amazed if you did. You can see clearly that you're setting lower highs and lower lows. And I understand that we're in a bear market, but you've even taken out the last bear market lower low by a long shot, by 50%, guys. So this looks nasty. This looks really, really nasty. Although I do think you're going to get a shot at lower prices, okay? If Bitcoin rolls over in Q4 like we anticipate, like it always does, if that happens, I do think you can get a price here of about a 3 cent SEI, if not lower. And if you ran up to 20 cents there, you could possibly get you a 6 to 7x on this coin if you were able to buy the bottom, and this is a big if, you made it back to 20 cents. That's what I see for SEI. There are in my opinion, much better opportunities with far less risk and far less token dilution. So that is for you to decide, though. Let me know in the comments what you think below. Let me know if you want me to look at any other altcoin. I'll be happy to do the full rundown on those. Give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to continue these updates the entire cycle so we can track these coins and jump off a sinking ship if we need to and get on a much better investment. So I will see you guys next time.